Welcome to Forensic Friday.
Where we examine the intersection of true crime, psychology, and the heart of being human in the middle of it all.
Hi. Okay, merit makeup. What is this?
Okay, so Nat just made the comment that I look good. Thank you. Love you so much.
I
I,
look, I look like a haggard new mom.
you know what, girl? First of all, you never look haggard. Haggard does not cross my mind when I think of you.
Okay. What is it?
And
What crosses your mind with this? I mean, here's the thing. I got our forensic.
I think you look adorable
I
and
match
like my
my sweatshirt.
co-host.
I match my sweatshirt.
Yeah, you look like my co-host and bestie, and you match the sweatshirt perfectly.
Messy glasses, messy bun glasses.
You also match the mug.
I
Yay!
match our mug. Guys, this is why you have to get the sweatshirt and the mug.
That's right. Then you could look
If
like
you
look like
have
us.
if you have these glasses and a messy bun, you're in.
You're in. You're in the club.
You're in the
No,
club.
so this is the thing really. I with the hair that someone else does,
Yeah.
all I have to do is wash it like twice a week and do the whole thing, which that's a
It is
chore.
a
That'll
lot.
make me sweat, right? But other than that, the hair's done.
No, I know.
The
Well,
Merit foundation stick is next level.
merit?
Merit, Merit. You can get it at Sephora and it's only like, I mean, okay, it's more than drugstore, but it's not luxury. It's like 30 something bucks, lasts forever. And it's perfect and it lasts all day.
So wait a minute.
This has
Is
been
it
my best find.
is it this one?
It's one that's gray. It's in a like a gray stick.
Let me share my screen. Send
Okay.
request.
Let me make it- Show me. Show me
Okay,
the makeup.
is it this one?
That's the one.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get it because I don't have foundation. I ran
You got to
out.
figure out which shade. They have a shade finder. Mine was dead on accurate. I wear sandstone for anyone who's interested. Not Java or whatever they used in the blackface killing from
Oh God.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Sandstone is mine. So you could be, I mean, we wear almost the same thing.
Yeah, I'm more red than you.
I mean, I'm usually pretty pink actually. This helps a lot.
Yeah, I
There
need
you
an
go.
because I ran out and I've just been using this crap stuff that I bought years ago.
Well, and then this lipstick is boss. I only have one lipstick. Like I just
No,
find something
I
that
like
works.
that. I like that shade.
Well, you wore it in the video.
I
I just
know.
handed you my lipstick. I need to have like a kit because otherwise I have no idea what's happening. So I have like this mini kit. You have the same thing because you go up to Summit all the time. So you have like a little kit of makeup. That's what I have.
Yeah, I don't, that's all the makeup I have. And then I have like two things of like palettes for eyeshadow because I used to love eyeshadow.
Oh yeah. No,
That's
remember when
it.
you had time for eyeshadow?
Yeah.
I
I
haven't worn
still didn't,
eyeshadow since Mac.
I still didn't wear it when I had time for it.
No, I do.
Only at weddings.
Eyeliner occasionally. Well, Nat and I had delusions of grandeur this weekend that we were going to get so much work done. We were going to do a retreat. And then
Uh-huh.
she called me, and I'm on my way to the office, and she's like, I think maybe don't kill me, but I think we should rethink this week. And I was like, girl, same. We have so much going on. And so you had an amazing day yesterday, right? At the stock show?
Yeah, we took Grace to the stock show. I missed most of it. I found a very comfy chair outside of our little gate area to sit in with her, and she just slept on me.
Well, that sounds lovely.
And I wasn't mad about it. Press came out and he was like, "Hey, we can swap. I feel so bad you're missing some of like so much of the rodeo." I got to see the cool parts in the beginning,
Yeah,
like with all the lights and whatever. I mean, it's all cool, but he was like, "I feel bad like you were really excited that you could come because originally I wasn't going to be able to go because we were going to the mountains."
yeah,
We had all this other stuff come up and I was like, "Okay, you know what? If you guys didn't invite someone new, I can make it work now."
yeah.
And like you were so excited and now you're just hanging out here and I was like, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else because she's just the best thing ever.
She's the best. She's such
I
a
have
good baby.
cutest pictures of her sleeping.
I hung with the puppy, cleaned the house. which is so good for my brain. We took
I
Christmas
love
down finally after 5 Christmas celebrations. It was time
that.
to take Christmas down. Um, Matt got a cleaning specific muscle strain. I told Natalie. Um,
Correct.
doesn't apply to sledding though. Only
So
cleaning.
we can still sled.
Yes, he can still sled. It's
It's
cleaning
not like
specific.
my favorite is that he still used that line.
He did. Well, he's 10, he's very verbal, which is not surprising to any of us.
No,
But he's still 10, so his logic is still sometimes not all the way there.
right.
And his mommy is a professional motivational interviewer, so that's unfortunate for him. Because
He's
I'm like,
like,
tell me again how the muscle hurts when you're cleaning, but wouldn't when you're sledding.
right, help me understand
Help me understand this. Just explain your thought process a little more.
this.
And so
You're
he
such
did
a
not
good help.
appreciate that.
I would have been like, if one's out, both are out.
Well, and if fairness to him, I did just ride them the entire day, everywhere, every room. Like it was crazy. So then you will love this. I've been dying to tell you this. So my neighbor has been helping me raise our puppy because I had no plan.
Right, 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 right.
There's only 2 times in my life I've been just completely discombobulated to the degree that I had to like hand a child to someone. One
Mhm.
was when I went to MOPS for the first time, didn't know my airway was a mess, almost peed my pants, handed my kid to a total stranger so I could pee.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know where to put him. Where do you put him? I was a new mom. It was a mess. That was not my thing, and MOPS was not my people, and that is what it is. Then this time was bringing the puppy back. I don't know what disconnect happened in my brain, but you can't leave a puppy all day when you're at work. I know. That was not the plan. Puppy just happened suddenly. Well, she's been coming into my messy house every
Aw.
couple hours to take the puppy out with her boys. And oh my gosh, we finally really hung out. So
Mhm.
she came over. I'm like, girl, I owe you. First of all, I merched her up and then I got her a candle and a mug because you got to take care of somebody who's helping you raise your puppy,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
But then I was like, girl, let's do dinner.
Mhm.
So I had her come over and you will love this. I'm texting her through the day. What do you want to eat? Maybe this, maybe that. I don't cook a ton, blah, blah, blah. And she's not a texter. So
Oh God. Yeah.
I
And
was like,
I mean, I'm more of a texter and
yes.
you rapid fire. I look down at my phone and I'm like, 10 messages, Janine. What are you doing?
So it's a lot. It's just a lot. I understand this. And I told her, I said, the good news is you're getting the Natalie experience. I don't expect a response necessarily.
I,
So I'm just
I think
thinking,
I've trained that out of you.
100%. She goes, well, I may not text you back, but also you made me laugh the whole time. I'm like, that's the vibe. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
So we landed on like noodles, whatever. So I tried to move the time back because we were cleaning everything. And she goes, no, I'm just coming at 5. And I was like, oh, the audacity. And then she goes, I know that you're trying to get your house together. I can help clean. I've been listening to the podcast all day. I have a
Oh.
million questions. I'm just coming over. And she busted into
Oh.
my messy house. We're both in sweat. She put jammies on to come over, and I'm in love with her. And her name is Des. And she's a forensic bestie. And hi, girl. Thanks for helping me keep my life together.
Can't wait to meet you.
Oh, you love her. I love her so much. We were
Oh,
supposed to just watch Dateline together, but we talked for like 4 hours.
great.
Shot right past the bedtimes.
Dateline's a good show to either be really attentive for or to have on in the background.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you and I do that while we're like
Yeah.
working and whatever, but she's great. So thank you, Des, for helping with the puppy. And
And the couch
also,
cleaning.
I know. Thank you. Also, Bear has one of the comfort hoodies.
Oh, yes.
Cutest thing I've ever seen in my
That
life.
is very funny.
And he loves it. He's cold all the time.
Well, he's a puppy.
He's a puppy, but also like Honey's never been cold a day in her life with all that fur. This one's cold.
Hmm.
So he likes heated blankets and his comfort hoodie. And yes, I will post pictures. And yes, it will make you want to get a puppy.
I love that. And a comfort hoodie, hopefully.
Oh, yes. Well, I did get some pants for me. I got the new snow leopard. I'm wearing them right now.
Oh,
They're like
cute.
a white leopard.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
they're real cute. I got
Cute.
him a matching one for when he gets a little
Oh,
bigger. Well, they said he's underweight. And I was like, oh, no person that I feed or take care of has ever been accused of being underweight. That's not a thing that has ever happened. And I looked at her and I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeding him in line with the bag. And she goes, yeah, but this breed, like They
They
have
grow.
muscles, high metabolism, and so he's getting more food now too. He's very excited
Oh,
about that. I
good.
know. I
Mhm.
know.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
sponsors, you were gonna tell the people why they're hearing ads all of a sudden.
Yes. Well, you're hearing ads all of a sudden because we have partners now
Yes, we
who
do.
are sponsoring partly, sponsoring the podcast. They are some of hopefully many sponsors that we have. I don't want people to think we're fully sponsored yet because we're not.
We're so far from fully sponsored, it's not even
I
funny.
know, but
But
we
our
have
monthly bills are starting to be covered, like the
and we
hosting bills.
and they're amazing companies.
Mm.
Obviously, we've already talked about them.
Yes.
So Southeast Counseling Center and Reliatrax, both amazing. Our day job is at Southeast, and then we use Reliatrax for our day job.
I'm in Reliatrax every freaking day.
Yes, it's the system in which we use, and we love it.
That's right.
Mhm. Um, yeah, today's mini
Mm-hmm.
that we're covering. So here's the thing, guys. I know my voice hasn't been very frequent on here lately.
You're
Jen
welcome.
has kindly understood silently the insanity of a newborn and being a new mom. So it's nuts, and she's had my back. But I am trying to come back with full force, my friends. So I do
She's
have a case,
ready today. You're
and
ready.
I'm ready. So I do have a case that we're doing later.
Mm-hmm.
But our mini, and I was trying to figure out what matched the case. I couldn't figure out a mini that matched the case because
They
we've
don't
done,
always have to.
well, nope. And a lot of our minis cover some of what we've already talked about with the case that I'm going to share later. So the mini that I came up with, my friends, has to do more with just like everyday stuff, relationship stuff, counseling. And yeah, I think a lot of times when people want counseling, and we're going to get more into this here in a second, but what made me think of this was a lot of times when people want counseling, whether individuals or couples or families, I hate to put it this way, but my sister-in-law is a firefighter, so I'm going to say it this way. People already come kind of like dead upon arrival.
DOA.
DOA, right? So they come in and they're like, "Okay, like save my marriage." And I'm like, mm-hmm.
That's real hard on your therapist too. When you come in first session and you're like, we'll see.
Or you tell me this is my last ditch effort. I have the paperwork. I'm like, cool. Okay.
Great, great. We're gonna give it our best effort.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna talk about when to actually, I mean, still go to therapy whenever you know you need it. Like that, I'm not saying don't do it. Don't show up. Still show up. But part of this is we're not always aware of when we need to do something we need to do until it's dire and drastic, right? So, our hope today is to give you guys a little bit of an idea of when you can go get the help that you need earlier with earlier intervention.
Like an indicator light in a car. It's like, don't wait till it's red. Like when it's yellow, maybe go get it checked out.
Yes. Or
Good analogy, right?
when the first light when the light first comes on instead of waiting months, which I did do.
Or the gaslight, which Nat and I both will ride that puppy about as far as we can take it.
I don't try to do that, but I have done that. My car doesn't have a ding, like a bell.
That's that's not gonna be good.
No, I know, so I have to pay attention
Oh my gosh.
to my gas thing. It has a light, but it doesn't go bing or anything like that.
Mm-mm. You need it to yell at you. Natalie, get gas. For real. No, now.
But you know what? I have never run out of gas.
Me neither.
My husband, on the other hand,
Mm.
stopped telling me when it would happen because I would get so frustrated and I would laugh at him all the time. But he stopped telling me.
So he just would run out of gas, like walk to a gas station, fill it up, and you'd just never know.
Yep. There's a few times that I knew because I could go pick him up,
That's
but
hilarious.
then he stopped telling me because it happens so often.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's unfortunate, but
But
it can happen.
here's the thing that I do now pretty often that was going to stop telling him about, but I still tell him. I leave my keys in the diaper bag, and then the diaper bag, Grace's diaper bag, goes to childcare with her. And then my keys are in Broomfield, and I have to drive to Parker.
True story. On Monday, Nat had to Uber twice before she even went to work. So I did get you lunch like a champion.
No, I know. You were like, what do you need? I was like, girl,
I know I got you.
yeah,
Chick-fil-A, Diet Dr. Pepper, and a lunch. We had you covered.
I needed it. Yes, so I've done that 3 times now
Mm-hmm.
where my diaper bag has gone with Grace
That was an
to,
expensive morning.
yeah. I mean, I one time, the first time Press was still close enough to where he could bring my keys back. Um, the second time I just Ubered to work, to and from work. That was expensive.
Oh, that would be expensive.
And then this time I was like, I'm gonna Uber to Broomfield and back because it was less expensive doing it that way.
That's still wild.
I know.
I think people are more likely to do individual than couples because I think couples therapy has a reputation for being where relationships go to die. So I think there's a little bit of, I've heard this from couples where it's like, I've done it in the past and it was terrible, or it made things worse. And so I think we should talk about individuals first and then couples and families. But what do you think are the indicator lights for individuals?
We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Southeast Counseling Center. Southeast Counseling Center is a 501c3 nonprofit mental health provider right here in Parker, Colorado, conveniently located just off major highways. We serve the whole family, from play therapy for kids to couples and family therapy, trauma treatment, psychological testing, and specialized groups. Access matters. That's why Southeast Counseling Center accepts Medicaid, TriWest, and victim compensation, and also offers a community subsidy program to help people who fall in the gap between Medicaid and traditional insurance coverage. And because we're a nonprofit, every dollar donated by the community goes directly towards providing treatment services for people who need help. Prefer to meet at home? Telehealth is available statewide so anyone in Colorado can access our services. To get started, call 720-842-5553 or fill out our secure web inquiry form at secounseling.org. Southeast Counseling Center, care that is accessible, compassionate, and rooted in the community. I think it's funny you asked that. So I remember when I first, well, it's not first. At one point when I reached out for therapy individually, just for myself, I was in grad school and it was like crisis.
Mm.
I was super anxious. I was not okay, like having panic attacks on the regular. This was again when I was in grad school, also working for a church that was wildly unhealthy. Not great. So, and I was in my internship. It was a lot. It was just a lot. There's a lot going on. And I remember I had wished that I would have reached out before then. So I think when you know you're about to go through a life transition, it's important. Maybe when you enter a new relationship, it's good to get into therapy.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Mhm. And, it's not bad that if you are feeling anxious or depressed, obviously go. Obviously,
You can go anytime.
anytime.
But
But
you
when,
could anticipate, like, I think caretaking, like if you're doing medical caretaking of a family member, um, if your kids are going through transitional stages or struggling with something, you can kind of get ahead of it, see it coming before you hit full burnout.
yep, exactly. Um, and it's important, I think, to try to be ahead of it because then when you do get to a place where it feels really overwhelming, you already have some tools and you already feel like you have the support that would be really helpful. So I think those are some indicators just going for individual therapy. It's funny that you say you see people come in for individuals more than couples. I feel like when it involve when someone when someone reaches out for therapy relating to their relationship, they usually come as a couple, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because they most
Well,
of the time,
men, I think men will come as a couple. So women will be like,
yes,
you really need help. And they'll be like, I'll do couples therapy.
yes,
And you and I work with a lot of men.
yes,
I think women sometimes are more likely to come in for
100%.
individual,
And I totally agree with that. Yes, I totally. And usually the women are already doing their own therapy when they come in for couples,
Yes.
oftentimes. And then they see us and I say, "Hey, you both need to be doing individuals."
And they
Um,
look at you like, hey, girl, I had a feeling you might tell them that. No, and it's like, yes, that is going to happen.
yes. I think when things to look out for when you're in a relationship and you are like, anticipating maybe doing therapy because you're self-aware and no
Hopefully.
good.
Right.
I know. That's key number one. I think when you feel like you're in a place where it's starting to become somewhat difficult, maybe not impossible to communicate, but where you're feeling like, I just feel like they don't get me or they are not understanding what I'm saying. And then it turns into like a big thing or we sweep it under the rug. We want to do it before we get to a place where we're blowing up,
Yes.
right? So when you start to feel that way of like, man, something's just not clicking here. And I know we can make it work and I want to make it work. That's a good time to get into therapy.
Well, yeah, and you don't have to be married. I think this goes without saying. You don't have to be living together. You don't have to be married necessarily. I have a couple and you can take these to the bank.
Hmm.
Okay, having done this almost 20 years now
Hmm.
and having been with my husband about as long as I've been a therapist. I've
Right,
been with
right.
him only a little bit longer than I've been a therapist. There's a couple things and I think you will see these, but I'm open to pushback. If you are avoiding going home,
Mm,
or you pull up to your house. These are like the sneaky ones. Like when we did sneaky red flags, these are
yes.
the sneaky indicators that you may need couples therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. This is before you're in a nightmare.
Yeah.
So if you're avoiding going in, like let's say you come home from work and you're just kind of sitting in your car and you're just like, I don't want to go in. And it may not even be all your partner, it may be all of it. I don't
Right.
want to deal with my house, my kids, my husband, anything. I just need to be alone.
Yeah.
You're overstimulated and it's probably showing up in your relationship and you could use support that couples therapy could help with.
Yeah.
If you feel lonely and sad in your
Hmm.
relationship, even a little bit. So you're
Hmm.
sitting with him and you're watching him and you're just like, or vice versa, you're looking at her and you're thinking, oh, I just wish they would see me, or I wish we could talk, or you find yourself pining for someone when they're right in front of you.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
an indicator. I call this one the internal eye roll.
No, yes.
You're just done. And so everything they do, you're just a little bit like, oh, you probably need to check in because that's like the birthplace of contempt. You're starting to not like them.
So I have something very similar written down, but I actually said literally next to that, this is closer to DOA
Mm.
when we're doing that internal eye roll, right? Because we're creeping into resentment and like you said, this is kind of the birthplace of contempt. So I would say that's like if we can help it, get into therapy before the internal eye roll happens.
Get into therapy when you're more consistently frustrated before you start internally eye rolling.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
that's starting to be a feeling about that person that's persistent.
Exactly. And that's when we start to lack benefit of the doubt for them. And we start to feel like everything they do is either in spite, or because they are just lazy, or
Mm,
right, we start to create a negative narrative. That's like when we're kind of at almost at DOA. We can still save it, but we're getting closer to DOA when we start to have those negative narratives about the other person, when we're starting to say like, ugh, they're just so lazy. I um I have a friend who she was telling me, she was like, he literally will not look for things in the kitchen. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, and it drives me nuts. And
mm.
I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do about it? Right? This is when couples therapy would be helpful. When you're not quite to the place where you're like, oh my gosh, they're so lazy. they just drive me insane. But it's, hey, they don't do this, and that action drives me nuts. That's a good time to say, you know what? Cool. I don't hate them yet. Let's get in.
Well, and here's the other thing. This is the dichotomy that, it's February, whatever. I'm not like Miss Valentine, although there is a Friday the 13th this month, which is very
Oh,
exciting because not only is it Friday the 13th, but also Valentine's Day. We
you
celebrate
also
every Friday the 13th.
you do date nights.
Yep, that's our date night. Our first date was on a Friday the 13th.
We
So,
almost got married on a Friday the 13th.
oh, I love it because it comes out of nowhere. It's different months every year, and we treat it almost. It's like as sacred as our wedding anniversary. Like we really do try to do something. It doesn't always work out that way, but it's been lucky for us. But
Good.
anyway, we were thinking about relationship stuff, and there's this dichotomy between feeling like there's perpetual problems in relationships, period. That's normal. Like upwards of 70% of the problems we have in a marriage are perpetual because they're just individual differences. My husband is never going to think like me, and that's okay. I cannot make him think like me, do the things I want him to do. I'm not in control of that. And it would be a pretty crappy relationship if I was. Then we're starting to get into like DV land.
Right.
However, also, if you get into the realm of contempt where you stop liking that person or thinking positive things about that person, that's the number one indicator that a relationship's going to end. And
Mm-hmm.
so the role of couples therapy is not to solve those problems, the differences. We don't solve the differences.
Right.
It's to prevent the differences from creating contempt. It's learning how to live with differences respectfully and kindly.
Yep.
So even when you, Nat, were hopping on, I saw this quick little interaction with you and Preston, but it was very sweet where he was like, I can call Netflix or whatever. And you're like, well, I can do it later, blah, blah, blah. But the tone was very kind. You guys spend
Mhm.
most of the day at a cell phone store.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
when couples are usually ready to kill each other. And you have a baby and you had to come home and we had work to do. So I'm watching just this tiny moment that could be a tense moment, but it was a kind moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's because y'all have done some work.
Yep. We have done work.
You've done work, and Gary and I have done work and work really
Yep.
hard on our relationship. And so, those moments of kindness, you have to learn how to do those. It's not
Yep.
about agreeing, it's about learning how to be together.
Yeah. And communicating, it's funny. It's not funny, but something that sometimes when I work with couples, and this isn't to shame anybody. We can all fall into this place. Press and we're both spicy humans. I am a pursuer, he's a withdrawer, but we're both very opinionated. So it's not hard to get into this space, but it's when I see couples interacting with like a genuine lack of respect for the other human being.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
painful.
yes, it's like you wouldn't treat a stranger this way, and you're treating this person that you have like chosen to spend your life with this way, And that's when it gets really hard. And I've never said it that directly to couples that I've worked with because I think that can feel really shaming, but the intention is to say, "Hey, how can we just do this a little differently? Like if I can treat someone outside of my home much better than I'm treating you, then how can I at least treat you with respect for the fact that you're just a human?"
Yeah, like I would treat someone anywhere.
Yep.
It's interesting, Nat, because I had a couple recently who have done couples therapy for years and years and years, and nothing has really helped close the gap.
Hmm.
Intensives, this, that, and the other, retreats, like all the things, and nothing has worked. And you know me, I love a challenge. You and I both love a challenge. So I'm like,
Hmm.
we're going to do some things. So
Hmm.
what we ended up doing was actually some psychological testing.
Hmm.
They have a ton of similarities.
Mm. Yeah.
Never would have guessed. Honestly, they present differently.
Yep.
They would never have guessed this. Literally, it had to be like black and white on a piece of paper. This
Hmm.
came from this psychological test that's been validated and all this stuff. Their internal operating systems are actually fairly similar. And so how they experience things is similar. And so they just blow each other's minds all the time because They're just similar enough to rub in all of these ways and to really kind of frustrate each other.
Yeah.
Discovering that was a huge step forward. We have more in common than we have different
Mhm.
in this case,
Yeah.
you know? One of the things I put in here too is if you find yourself connecting with other people
Hmm.
more than your partner. Now, my husband's a man of few words, right? Your husband is a man of many words.
Many words.
So if we
Many.
all hang out, you and Gare might be zoning out, and Preston and I can talk and talk.
I know.
But when that happens, he does not have to be the only person I talk to. That's not what I'm saying. But if I'm really seeking connection consistently with people outside of him and I can't connect with him that same way, that's an indicator light. When
Right.
that person happens to be the gender I'm attracted to, like when
Yeah.
I'm starting to sort of,
Yeah.
for
Flirt
me,
with
that's
the line.
somebody of the opposite sex. If I'm starting to connect with them,
Mhm.
then I'm really starting to have a gap there. And that's oftentimes how affairs start,
Yeah.
especially emotional affairs at work and stuff like that. So that's a red indicator light,
Hmm. Yes. Agreed.
you know?
Yeah. One of the things I want to encourage you guys on is as you're like reflecting on yourself or your relationship or your relationship, ask yourself, when when did I feel like I was at my best? When did I feel like our relationship was at our best? What are some of the things that have shifted that, right? And like no nothing's perfect, right? My husband and I are we operate very differently now than we did when we first met, right? People go through things, people go through hardships, whether it's together, like with each other or externally. And it shifts who you are. So it's important to ask yourself, like, where was I then? Where am I now? The goal isn't necessarily to go back to how we were before, but it's how do we continue to grow together? And if you feel like there's a part of you that isn't fully growing together, it's important to say, hey, I care about you and this enough for us to go and work on this and make sure that we are continuing to be the best versions of ourselves so that we can be the best versions for each other and our family and whatever.
I like how you said that because I think people wonder sometimes, how do you bring this up to your partner without scaring them? Because a lot of people think, and even myself as a therapist, if Garrett all of a sudden was like, hey, I think we should go to couples therapy, like my heart would fall out of my butt. I'd be like, oh my God, he wants to leave me.
Right, right.
There is a way in which we can bring this up in a kind,
Yeah.
positive manner that doesn't, and you can reassure directly. You don't have to be coy about it. You can say, I love you. I love our life together. I want to be my best with you.
Mhm.
And
Uh,
that softens the person's fear. If you're like, hey, we need to go to therapy,
right.
that person's gonna be scared.
Yeah. I think that's how I did it back in the day.
Oh, I'm sure. Also, man,
Also, we weren't almost DOA, but I was having a hard time. Therefore, we were having a hard time.
absolutely. And men are way more likely to get voluntold to
Yes.
go to couples therapy or therapy in general than women.
Yes.
And so they sometimes just get informed that they will be coming to couples therapy and
Yeah.
they are not pleased
Yeah.
sometimes to be there. And so, this we're talking especially to women, I think,
Yes.
in
Yeah.
this. Be
But also
soft.
men too. Yeah. Women be soft, be kind. We can
Mhm.
be pretty spicy. And for men too, like if you're someone who's like, we don't need therapy, but you also know you're struggling, it actually is going to show a lot more that you care if you put your pride aside and say, hey, I think this could be beneficial for us because I love you and I want to keep growing. So, like both sides of the street, women, be kind, be soft. Men, put your pride aside and go.
Yeah, and find a couples therapist that really fits both of you. You both need to feel comfortable, and everybody's different. I personally love a therapist that is a universal butt kicker because I
Yeah.
think it makes us feel safe to know that the therapist is going to hold everybody and themselves accountable. But that is not different therapists are a different match for
Yeah.
lots of different couples. So You may need a softer spoken therapist. You may need someone who goes slow. You may need someone who gets in there. If you're
Mhm.
in crisis, though, I'm going to tell you right now, you need a confident, experienced therapist. It's worth every dollar that you
Yep.
spend. And if you go into therapy thinking they're going to fix your partner, you're the problem.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So
Yes.
just know that if you're listening, it's like, I'm going to tell him tonight, I'm going to tell him we're going to couples therapy and they're going to fix him. No, you're the problem
That's the
if you
problem.
think that. Not even just part of the problem. You may actually be the whole drama, but you're at least part of the drama.
Yes.
You can't go in there thinking that you're fine and bulletproof and perfect. If you do that,
That they're the ones who have the only issues, or and
you're
that
going to
they're the
either,
one causing all the issues.
yeah, you're going to either alienate your partner by throwing them under the bus.
Yeah.
Or and maybe you're going to get your butt kicked by your therapist because if I see that in a first session, I'm like,
Nope.
you know, why don't you guys take a week and write your treatment plan for your marriage? Start with you. Like you're going to get a homework assignment that's going to be tough,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I always tell my couples when I see behaviors like that, blaming each other, I tell them, you got to focus, like look in the mirror. You have to clean up your side of the street because it's not just them. I promise you.
We'll be right back.
If you work with court-ordered clients, you already know the system can be overwhelming. Documentation, coordination, compliance tracking, billing, on top of actually doing the therapy. That's why we want to tell you about Reliatrax, a one-stop platform built specifically for therapists working in the court-ordered space and voluntary treatment. Reliatrax helps you stay connected with probation and referral sources so everyone's on the same page and your clients get the best care possible without the endless emails, calls, and paperwork. And here's the exciting part. Reliatrax now offers Aura, their new AI assistant. Aura helps streamline documentation, keeps you organized, and supports your workflow so you can spend less time clicking boxes and more time doing clinical work. Reliatrax also supports insurance billing, including Medicaid, making it easier to serve both court-ordered and voluntary clients all in one system. No juggling platforms and no workarounds. And the other amazing thing is you have an actual team of people who can support you, not some automated system. If you're looking for a smarter, more efficient way to manage compliance, communication, and care, Reliatrax was built for this. Check out Reliatrax and see how it can support you, your clients, and the systems you work in without burning you out. You can go to www.reliatrax.com to get started. Yeah, and Nat, it might be good to share what are the contraindicators for couples therapy. So we're encouraging them to go. And
Mhm.
one thing that happens sometimes to couples is they get their gumption to go, and it's so vulnerable and it is scary, and they show up, and then we tell them, "Hey, we actually can't see you for couples therapy." What are the things that might indicate you need to do individual therapy first?
Mhm. So there's the three A's that I stick by pretty religiously. It's if there's addiction, abuse, or a current ongoing affair, not a past affair, a current affair. So if any of those three things are going on presently when you come into my office, that is when I say, hey, we're going to come back to couples. You both need to do your individual work because we can't move very far with any of those three things existing. So that's one indicator for me. If I've been seeing the couple for a while and one or both are still having a really hard time looking in the mirror and they're looking through a window at the other person and blaming them, then I say, hey, we got to do our own individual work for a little bit because we're not going to get anywhere if you keep blaming each other for everything. Um, those are the big ones for me. What about you? Is there any others you would add?
No, those are great, Nat. And I think the hopeful thing I want to tell you, because sometimes couples will just quit then. They're like, well, fine, if you won't work with us, then we're out. I would really encourage you to stick with it because it doesn't always take super long. And sometimes Nat and I have worked with couples where the individual therapists have joined the
Yeah.
couples therapy, or
Yeah.
Nat and I typically full transparency, we get tagged in with the men who are being abusive, angry, struggling with addiction or whatever that we need to pivot.
Yep.
And so I would say that's when you and I get pulled in a lot if we're not doing the couples therapy.
Right.
We sometimes get tagged in. If you can go to a counseling center that has a little bit of a team,
Yep.
that is so helpful. Like Nat and I work as a team at Southeast, and we have wonderful therapists that we tag team. So we have
Mm-hmm.
these great couples therapists, and then we also have individuals, and we can really put together kind of the dream team for the family. And sometimes we need that.
Yep.
So it's not a forever thing that you can't see each other in couples therapy. We're trying to protect your relationship so that when you come together for couples therapy, you're really ready and you can make fast progress at that point,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know? And couples therapy, this is like my PSA. Couples therapy should never be just rehashing the fight from the
Mm-hmm.
week before. You may reference disagreements. That's really normal,
Yep.
but it should be adaptive. Like, what are we learning from that and how are we playing
Yes.
it forward
Yes.
to improve the relationship, not just let's litigate the argument and see if who the therapist agrees with.
Oh my gosh.
We're
Yes.
not doing that.
So hard.
It's so hard.
That's so hard. Yeah.
Hmm.
And if your therapist isn't trying to shift from the, day-to-day fights into like what's actually going on underneath the surface, then talk to them about it,
Yes.
right? Because sometimes
That's
therapists,
kind. I'm thinking fire them, but you're right.
right,
That is,
sometimes I think therapists can get stuck in that and they're like, oh my gosh, how do I get them out of this? And they might try and the couple goes right back in.
yes.
I've experienced that before where I'm like, nope, we're pulling out. And then they go, nope, we're going back in with the specific fight that we had. And I'm like, but at the end of the day, it's not about the fight. It's about what's happening inside our brain and our heart about each other and how you see each other. So let your therapist know because they might have already been trying to pull you out of that and you're not letting them.
Absolutely.
And if that's not their style and they focus on specific fights, then maybe find a different therapist.
And how do we know, Nat, when couples therapy should actually be family therapy? How do we know when we need to tag the whole family in?
I think when they focus on, I have an example in my head. When they focus on another member of the family that's to them, I'm using air quotes, that's, causing air quotes some of the disagreement. So I'm thinking when families have kiddos in the mix and, the kid, usually it's a teen at this point, but the teen's behavior is impacting the parents, quote unquote, so much so that they're focusing most of the time on them. Bring them in. Let's figure this all out together. Let's
Well,
figure
and
out
when
why
there's,
the teen is acting out or the kiddo.
yes, and we call it the identified patient. It's like when there's an identified patient, quotes
Yeah.
again, in the family, usually there's a lot more going on under the surface, and it's
Yeah.
just the easiest to put all of that stress there.
Yeah.
Because what I really don't want to talk about is the fact that you're not meeting my needs when I'm fighting with this teenager. I just want to talk about how impossible this teenager is,
Yes.
and a lot of times that can alleviate a lot of stress as
And
well.
sometimes to focus on someone else besides like you and your partner, it feels like you get away from the fact that you also maybe have issues together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Well, and
if
I will tell you on behalf of our play therapists,
mm-hmm.
they are good and tired
Yeah.
of you bringing your kid in, having expectations of a fixed, well-adjusted child when we release them back into your nonsense at 7 o'clock, Like we can only control what happens. And I'll say this from working with teens. If parents aren't doing the work in couples therapy in
Yeah.
particular,
Yeah.
but even in maybe taking that step into family therapy,
Yeah.
we can do our very best work in that hour, and you're a great parent that you're bringing your kid in. But if the system isn't evolving and changing with that kiddo, it's going to be very hard to see
Yeah.
those outward behaviors change.
Potentially impossible. They might not change.
Yeah. They're also great barometers. So if your teenager's losing it, some of that's developmentally normal. They're
Yeah.
also like the little barometer for the family. They
Yeah.
will a lot of times externalize all the pressure that's happening. So dad loses his job, mom and dad are stressed about money. The amount of information our teenagers know Like they
Yeah.
come into my office and Nat's office and they tell us things that you would die if you knew
Yeah.
that they know.
Oh, I
And
know.
it's so good that they have a space to talk about it. And we are a judgment-free zone. I will never judge a parent, honestly. I
Never.
might have
Yeah.
feedback for a parent, but I'm not going to straight up judge a parent because this is the
Right.
hardest job in the world. But kids pick up on and feel things and then they have no control and they don't have full information. So
Mhm.
like let's say dad's hours are getting cut at work and we're trying to keep it from the kids, but they're sensing that tension and that pressure. They
Mhm.
don't know what's going on. And it doesn't mean you have to tell them, but
Right.
just know they're feeling the difference. So they might need a little extra TLC or they might need you to learn some emotional regulation skills so that they're not just absorbing all of that stress.
Yep, exactly.
So I hope this is helpful information. I wish I'd had this information
Same.
earlier,
Same.
younger.
Yep.
And I wish our clients knew this before they come in because some of the couples, and couples therapists can do an awful lot, and we will try so hard, like blood, sweat, and tears with you if you will show up and work
Yes.
really hard. So I've
Yes.
seen couples come back from some impossible things.
Yep.
I
No.
really have.
Yeah. Families and couples.
Hmm. But you got to get started somewhere. So I hope this helps you with that piece.
And when you are ready to go in, go, like Janine said, go in ready. Okay.
Oh,
Get ready to have some hard feedback and to look at yourself and think about what you can do differently because it starts with you. We always tell our people, whether they're in our groups or I'm working with them individually, I say, because you are seeing me, you have to go first. You can't wait for them to go first. You have to go first now. So when I see the couple, I say, you both have to go first.
no, sorry,
Lead each,
not sorry. That's how we roll.
lead each other to the kindness. Like,
Mm,
now you both have to try to go first.
mm. The accountability.
Yes.
Absolutely got to go first.
Yep. So hopefully this is helpful, you guys. I encourage everyone to get a therapist, get someone to talk to, whether things are going well or not, right? I mean, I see my therapist every other week, might lessen it even because things feel good, but I will always have that human, maybe not always, but for from what I can tell now from here on out, I will have my therapist, and when I need her, I'm going to let her know that I need to talk to her.
Yes, and I think over the years I've laughed with my couples every February. It's like,
Oh my gosh.
do we go on a Valentine's date or do we go to therapy? And some years you go on a Valentine's date because it is not that serious and life is fine and you need to go enjoy each other. Sometimes you go to therapy,
Sometimes therapy is
even
your
on
date.
Valentine's Day. Yep,
Sometimes therapy is your date.
that's right. It just depends on the season.
And then you go get ice cream after or something.
That's right. Get some ice cream, hopefully feeling a little better.
Yes, exactly.
You
So,
know? Oh, well, thanks, Nat. What a great topic.
yes, I appreciate you guys for listening. And as always,
Bye, forensic friends. I'm Janine.
and I'm Nat.
And as always, thanks for listening and join us next week for more crime, psychology, and heart.